Srimad Bhagavatam by Kamala Subramaniam. Chapter 2. The Coming of Narada. The river Saraswati was flowing placidly. On the banks of the river was the ashrama of Vyasa. It was evening time, and he was sitting on the sands, gazing at the ripples in the river with unseeing eyes. His eyes were sad and his face troubled. Some deep pain was mirrored in his thoughtful eyes, and so he sat for a long time. The silence around him was broken by the twanging of the strings of the veena. Sweet notes fell on his ears. With the music of the veena was heard a voice singing the praise of Narayana. Vyasa looked up with an eager face and found the young sage Narada coming towards him. Vyasa got up in a flurry, welcomed the divine rishi, and made him take a seat of honor. He then sat at his feet, at the feet of the young rishi, who was a son of Brahma. Narada smiled at Vyasa and said, "I hope all is well with you. I hope that sickness and disease do not bother you. I am confident that your mind, clear like a pond, is without agitations. You ought to be happy since you have composed the great poem, the Mahabharata, which is a storehouse of knowledge, of all the rules of conduct. It is indeed a great achievement, and the world of men will benefit by your work. As for you, learned as you are in the Brahma Vidya, you must be without any sorrow." He paused for a while, and Vyasa sat silent without uttering a word. Narada spoke again. He said, "It seems to me as though you are not looking happy. You seem to me like one who has not achieved what he wanted to. You have done so much, and yet to you, I think, it seems to be inadequate. What is worrying you? What makes you unhappy?" "What you say is perfectly true," said Vyasa, "and you are the only person who can clear my doubts. You are wise. You are the son of Brahma. You are ever lost in praising the glories of Lord Narayana, and it seems to me there is nothing which is beyond your intellect. You are like the sun which sees all the three worlds. With the power of your yoga, you can, like the air, enter into human beings and know what is hidden in their minds. You must be knowing the reason why I am despondent. Long ago, I was once absorbed in meditation. In my mind's eye, I saw the future of the world. I saw the deterioration of Dharma. I saw the nature of man undergoing a change for the worse. I saw that advent of Kali, of the sinfulness pervading the earth. I saw the gradual withdrawal of the glory that had been her heritage all these years. And I was filled with infinite pity for the generations of men that are to be born in the Kali Yuga. I therefore resolved to help them in their distress. I edited the Vedas. I divided it into 4 parts, and these 4 were taught to my disciples. Paila learnt the Riks, and Jaimini the Samma. Vaishampayana was the only one who could master the Yajurveda. Samantu became proficient in Artava Veda. To Roma Harshana I taught the 17 Puranas and the Itihasas. These disciples of mine have divided the Vedas further, and they have taught them to their disciples, and they in turn to theirs. I found that I had not done enough. I realized that those who cannot study the Vedas, those who are not allowed to do so, should also be saved, and so I composed the poem by name Mahabharata, wherein all the lessons of the Vedas are taught in the course of the narration of the story. I had hoped that humanity would benefit by all this. And yet, my friend, I feel that my work does not grant me satisfaction, or rather, I have not the peace, the state of tranquility that should be mine by right if I have done the right thing. Tell me what I have left undone. What is it that will grant me peace? Please tell me. I am sorely distressed by this unrest inside me." With a slight smile lighting up his young face, Narada said, "I know the reason. You have not done enough." "Not done enough?" echoed Vyasa with dismay. "I have tried to do all that I possibly could. I have set down all that I thought was essential for the well-being of man and for his walking in the path of Dharma. What else is left? Tell me." "I still maintain that you have not done enough," continued Narada. "There is still something you have to achieve before you attain peace. You have done a great service to humanity by composing the Mahabharata. There is no doubt about it. but there is one drawback in that great work. Vyasa was listening to him as a student would to the words of his guru. A drawback in the Mahabharata? He was eager to know what it was. He did not speak a word, but his eyes were questioning, as if to say, "Please, tell me. Go on and tell me what the drawback is and how I can rectify it. I am eager and impatient to know." Narada said, "You were interested in the welfare of the world, and by relating the story of the Pandavas, you have taught the lesson that righteousness will conquer in the end. And where Krishna is, there is found Dharma. This is the lesson, and there is no doubt that people will learn from it. But you have, throughout the epic, laid stress on the duties of man, on his Dharma, on his performing them selflessly. The Bhagavad Gita and all the other discourses on Dharma lay stress on Karma Yoga, as you call it. But, my friend, you have not sung the praises of the Lord as much as you ought to have. Know you not that the easiest path to the Lord is the path of bhakti? All the other yogas are harder paths which lead to the feet of the Lord. The praises of Narayana, even if they are couched in wrong words, even if they are sung all out of tune, will assure man of the grace of the Lord. Like a piece of ani, which, when churned, will give forth smoke first and later fire, which will consume the wood itself. Even so, the mind of man, when churned by constant devotion to the Lord, will make all the evil in him come out onto the surface. The true sattvic nature of man will then blaze forth, and, like fire, will consume the bondage of karma and grant him salvation forever and ever. The Mahabharata was, to you, a play. Your attitude was purely objective. You entered into every one of the characters. You were, therefore, thinking good thoughts as well as evil ones while in the process of portraying them. Incidentally, the Lord was praised. There was no single-mindedness about your devotion to him. You must try to make up for this omission. Sing the praises of Narayana. Relate to the world his Vishvarupa, his Virata-rupa, his Vibhutis, his avatars, and this, I assure you, will grant you the peace you are seeking. Unveil to the world the secret behind the avatars. Tell them why the Lord, who is beyond the opposites, who has his abode in Ananta, who is the Purusha, the life-giver to this entire universe, why he should take a form and a name and a birth and become like one of us, why he should appear to be infused with one or the other of the three gunas and act as though he were a human being with human emotions. Praise every avatar of the Lord. Let nothing come from your lips except words of praise describing the glory of Narayana, and you will find peace. Drive home to the world of men this lesson. Even if a man fails in his duties which are ascribed to him by the Vedas and by the elders, even if he is a sinner who has transgressed all rules of conduct, still, if in his heart there is a spring of love, of devotion to the Lord, that will wash his sins white, and he will be dear to him. Remember, my friend, that you are yourself an avatara of Narayana. You have been born into this world for the benefit of mankind, and yet you allow emotions to delude you. Remember who you are. Wake up from this sleep which makes you forget your real nature. Relate to everyone the many avatars of Narayana and the purpose behind each of them. Sing the praises of Narayana again, again, and yet again. You will then have reached the goal for which you have been striving. Peace.